This is going to be a blast right now. I get to introduce you to Eloisa, my insurance boss. Who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? What's your target market?
Yeah, so my name's Eloisa Garcia, my insurance boss. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, born and raised, native here. I do all sorts of insurance. If there's a market for it, the simplest way to put it is if there's a market for it, I can write it, whether it's home, auto, life, umbrella, whether it's a special event, your commercial general liability, a jewelry store, you don't know, you want like block coverage for your jewelry store. Um, Pets, I mean, like I said, you name it, I do it. If there's not a market for it, I'll find a market for it. Um, so yeah, that's who I am.
Okay, all things insurance, right? Your flow on steroids, like you do it all, right? Well, hey,
Yeah.
the reason I wanted to have you on, you're truly an inspiration to people on the
Thank
power
you.
of recording content on social media. So you've been in the Scale on Social Media program, really, I'd say less than a month, right? What are we, 3 weeks in?
Maybe if
Yeah.
that.
And so you called me 2 nights ago and we're like, Nicky,
Mhm.
I hit #1 in my brokerage. Tell us about that phone call. Tell us about what's going on in your world right now with the #1
Ah,
award.
so in May, I pulled it up because I wanted to go and reflect back and see what it was. So in
Sure.
May, I was literally at the bottom of the totem pole. I came in for the month with $9,578. That's it
Mm,
for the entire month. And so, we obviously started talking, and, I put my entire heart and soul into this, a lot of
mm,
late nights, and I get a call on Friday. We have to submit like what we did for the month, our
yeah.
production. And I was like, okay, they're like, oh yeah, great month. You had a great month. And I'm like, thanks. I worked hard. I'm listening to you. And and so I get on the call Friday because I was calling my aggregator for something completely unrelated. And he's like, Eloisa, he's like, you had a really good month this month. Great job. And I'm like, hey, thanks. Yeah, I put my heart and soul into this thing and I've been out there. And he was like, you came out #1. Congratulations. And it, I didn't know what to say. I was like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, you came out on top. And you worked. And, he's like, obviously you've been working really hard. I'm like, I beat Marissa. And he's like, "Yeah, you beat
You
Marissa."
went from bottom in the sales awards to literally top in less than
Yeah.
30 days. So you went from 9,000 gross revenue. What did you submit? What was that number that you submitted?
I submitted 25,980.
Shut up.
And that is only P&C. It's only auto and home. There's no life or
Yeah.
health or
Yeah.
anything else
Yeah.
in there, which obviously I can do.
Yeah.
That's only been auto and home
You
policy.
almost 3x'd your business in 30 days. How many how
Yeah.
many closed sales? Because we're gonna get into how you did it, and I really want to pull that out of you
Okay.
so some people can learn from you. How many closed sales did you get from social media alone off of the Scale on Social Media system?
Oh my gosh. To be completely candid with you, the only people that I know that I have written has been about 5 people. Every other person that I have written has been from social media or like the Nextdoor app because they threw an ad out there
Mhm.
for like $1 a day. And I've written maybe 4 policies from there. But I mean, we're talking, see, these cookies that you sent me, they're getting in the way of my computer and erasing all of my
Yeah,
information
guys.
over
So
here on
so
me.
she hit #1. I sent her some cookies as a little sweet treat, and so she was messing with me.
So,
She was munching on one. It literally sent me a selfie eating this caramel freaking cookie, man. So,
mhm.
um, that's amazing, girl. So, how many sales would you
Thank
say
you.
directly came off
We're,
of social media? Because I know you're getting appointments. Even last night, you're like, dude, I scheduled 2 calls off of that one
yeah.
video. So, give the people at home like a real number that you've done in insurance in literally less than 30 days on social media.
Let's say 22, because the reason, so here's what happened when I first, you know what, no, let's really count almost all of them, to be quite honest with you, because so let's say about 26, because here's the thing, remember, I didn't really have anything going on until I
Mhm.
started seeing your content. One I wrote one person and 2 people in April. One of them was from next door and one was my brother-in-law,
Mm.
and it was 2 people for the entire month of April.
Wow. So
And
you went
then,
from 2 people
yeah.
in 1 month to then 26 in the following month.
Mhm.
That's insane. And what's
Yeah.
crazy is before you even got into the actual coaching and the course of Scale on Social Media, you had watched one piece of free content in my Facebook
I
group and went
did.
and landed like 5 or 6
Yeah.
sales. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Oh man. So, obviously we've been friends on Facebook for a
Yeah,
really long time. I couldn't even tell you how many years. And I, honest to God, just didn't really pay attention because in the role I was in prior, I didn't have to go out and market.
sure, sure.
I serviced business owners for 14 years in California. I didn't need to go market to them. They already knew who I was. And so I saw a video caught my eye. I was scrolling through Facebook one night and
Mm,
a video caught my eye. And I think it was the one that said 5 mistakes that business owners make or
mm,
whatever it was. And I was like, all right, let's dig into this a little bit. So I hit play. And then I wrote them all down. I had 4 pages
mm,
of notes by the time that video was done. And I think it was like a 20-minute
yeah.
video. And I was like, okay, we're going to put some of these into play. And one of them was, you can't hide behind your brand. And I was like,
Mm,
I have to get out there. I've been working from home for the last like 5 years. I really have to go out there. And I'm such a social person. So
yeah.
I think it was just nervousness and fear. Um, because I'll talk to everybody. My boyfriend calls me a busy little bee, and he's like, "You're such a social butterfly." Um, and so then I watched another video,
Mm,
and then I watched another video, and obviously you and I started talking, and we started sharing ideas, and you're like, "Hey, you need to share content." You need, what did you say to me? I don't remember verbatim what you said, but you were like, hey, you need to come up with like different things that you can educate people on because it's all about education, right? And I'm like, yeah.
absolutely.
And so we're
Yeah.
sitting there in conversation and it just like a light bulb went off. And I'm like, I know what I can do. I can basically go through the entire auto policy. We'll do bodily injury one day and I'll do an in-depth explanation on that. Then we'll do, property damage another day. And then we'll go into comp and collision and all
Educational
of it.
content on what you teach,
Yeah.
building your
Yeah,
authority. Yeah.
all of it. And so literally my first video that I posted, I think within 48 hours, I think I had 8 contacts that had reached out to me.
It was crazy to even see the real video. Like, I'm looking at it, watching reviews grow, watching people respond. And the reason
Yeah.
that I'm so stoked about your story and have you on today is I think you give hope and inspiration to so many people that maybe aren't
Oh,
so
thanks.
tech savvy, that don't know how actually simple it can be. So let's go back. So
How do you
before you
make me
got,
cry?
I'm not going, trust me. You know what? I love the fact of how emotional you are. I think business is emotional. I think
Yeah.
sales is emotional. I think content is emotional. And like, I get
Yeah.
emotional even seeing you because I hope our viewers understand that in a month's time, life can completely change in a month's
Yeah.
time. And that's the thing that I love about you is you're proving the path that it is possible when yeah, it wasn't easy and you worked your tail off and it was
Oh,
uncomfortable to record your car videos. And I appreciate and respect and admire all of that, but it's
yeah.
given somebody a pathway. Because here's the thing. How much money did you spend on that marketing?
Nothing.
$0.
Nothing.
It was on
Not
the
a dime.
iPhone that you were already paying for. Did you go hire a big VA or a big editing team? Nope. I taught you to
No.
record real, authentic, genuine
Hmm.
videos following the scale and social media system. And they literally started bringing you clientele. So let's go back before we met, before the scale and social media system. And what I taught you, you had nothing going on Instagram, nothing going on
Nothing.
Facebook.
Nothing. Nothing. I would post something maybe here and there, and that was
Yeah.
another lesson that was in like the 5 mistakes that business
Mhm.
owners make was you're posting every once in a while versus you need to post twice a day. And then once you're comfortable posting twice a day, it's 3 times a day. Like
Yep.
I literally took all of that to heart. I have all of those notes
How cool.
literally in this book. I have all
Oh my
these
God. I love
notes.
that. What
Yeah,
was
and
it
I
like?
carry that book with me.
What was it like not knowing where like clients were coming from? Now you're like, Nick, I'm full, I'm busy. What was it like
Yeah.
wanting to grow this business, having all the passion, drive, and motivation in the world, but just not knowing what to do? What was that like back in April?
It is scary.
Mm,
It's so scary because, okay, and this is a really ignorant way for me to think, but I didn't know any better,
sure.
coming into it. I was service, I did sales for a long time. Then I moved over to account executive. Um, and, the ignorance of me or in me was like, you know what? Once I open up my own insurance agency, all my friends and family, they know, they trust
Yeah.
me, they know me, they're going to reach out to me for a quote. Not one person did, not one. And I was like, okay, well, the business obviously isn't going to come to me, so I need to
Mm,
go and find it. So it obviously gets scary when you don't know and being so new into owning an agency. I'm glad that that content was out there and that you were out there to, coach me along the way. And those videos really, really, it's what opened up the door for me, and it opened up so many opportunities because I have met so many amazing people in this short amount of time. I'm
It's
creating all
crazy
of
to
these
see your momentum.
relationships.
Yeah, now you're connecting with all these
Yeah.
other people. The thing that I
Yeah.
want you need to understand this, and everybody watching, I didn't do anything magic. I pulled out of
Yeah.
you what was already in you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lioness in you and a lion or lioness in everybody
Yeah.
watching that sometimes we just need to know it's okay to pull that out and let that roar every now and then, right? Like I pulled out the data you have, and you guys watching, you have the expert knowledge. It's just getting a platform and a system to share that knowledge and having people actually perceive you as the expert. That's where a lot of the scale on social media comes from. Is I hated people like trashing me or like not respecting what I taught. Well, then I looked at my content. I was like, wait, you're not establishing that you are the expert. You're not establishing that you are the authority. And so you have people now reaching out to you. You're not cold DMing people. People are literally watching your content on Facebook or Instagram and then DMing you going, hey, can we get on your calendar? So what is life like now? Obviously, we knew what it was like before. Now what's things like? We heard about your stats. 26 sales and 25 grand of revenue. That's just insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, what is life like now, Miss number one in your brokerage and eating crumble cookies?
Oh my God. My doorbell rang and I'm like, who's at my door? I go to get it and I see crumble cookies on my doorstep. It's awesome. My life has completely changed almost like overnight, dramatically. I'm extremely busy. I literally have to send a Calendarly to people because they're like, hey, give me a couple times that are good for you. And I'm like, no, that's not going to work. I'm like, listen, here's my Calendarly. Please just pick a time and a date and we'll just do it because my schedule just fills up so fast, so quickly now. People are inviting me places. I'm getting tagged in Facebook posts. Yeah, just meeting all these people and having these conversations and being able to relate to them has just opened up so like a whole totally different life. Totally different than what I spent last time.
You're only 1 month in, and one of the things that I pride myself on is, lifetime access to the coaching and to the course. So we just get to grow and grow and grow and build together. And, you get to fly in and hang with me in San Diego and all this stuff. And it's
I
just
can't
really
wait.
cool
I
to
was
see
so
your
jealous.
growth. Yeah. And it's just amazing. So let me ask you this. If you could go back and talk to Eloisa, a month ago, and some of our viewers right there that aren't balling and don't have the book calendars out and they're like, I want it. What advice would you have for her or those people watching on getting started on social media?
Just fight your fear. Just do it. I mean, I think don't quote me on this because I don't remember the exact verbiage, but like the best things are on the other side of fear. Death will kill you once, but fear is going to kill you over and over and over again. And I was fearful. I was fearful. I was super nervous. I was afraid to fail. I think that's natural. And I just got out there and did it. And when I did it, I just opened up a whole new door. Like you called me. Listen, Friday when I called you with those numbers, I was coming from a funeral of a 16-year-old. I called you and I was like, hey, you know the call. I got to talk to you. Like, this is what happened. And I did not want to record that video. And, obviously I recorded it. I got over my fear of posting myself online because I'm like, oh my God, how many people are going to see this video? They're going to see me. And, naturally, we're like, oh my God, they're going to judge me. What are they going to say? People are mean, people on social media, the internet is not nice. And so, I was really fearful to start posting content. And I kind of got over it. I still, get a little nervous here and there. But yeah, you just do it.
Well, check this out. So to give the viewer some context, she called me to let me know she hit number one, and I had told her to record a video like in her car in that moment and just document it, not bragging. And this is a lesson for you and scale it on social media. Let the world know what you've been up to and let them know how excited you are. And in this video, you're talking about it, and then she gets emotional, starts crying. Last I had looked at that video, there was 850 views and 50 comments. 50 people had responded to your video that you filmed talking about that. 853 people learned who you are, what you do. And last we had chatted, you had written 2 policies and landed 2 sales off of that video. A 3-minute video that you filmed in your car using your iPhone. Cost you no money. There's no membership to Facebook. Then you just shared who you were and things that was going on in your world, and you wrote 2 policies because of it. And it's so, I didn't even know that you were afraid to post that. And I think for you guys
Yeah.
watching, you have to understand the highest and best version on yourself of yourself is on the other end of all that shit that scares the hell out of you. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Like all those things that you're so afraid of on the other side is number one in your brokerage, is crumble cookies, is just all this opportunity. And for me, you're just such an inspiration. So I'm really glad that you shared that. And
Oh,
I hope
thank
you
you.
guys watching are hearing somebody that is real life, real human being in an insurance business, that's a single mom that's trying to build her stuff up. And you're just your hope for a lot of people, you know. And I appreciate the fact that this system has helped you. The Scale and Social Media system is there, but you're the one that took it and ran with it, right? You're the one that took it and plugged into the community, haven't missed a coaching call, and you're the one that's been doing the work in the trenches. And I want you to
Yeah.
understand how proud of you that I am for doing that, right?
Thank
And so
you.
my goal with today's interview was just, one, to celebrate you, and two, share this with some people
Thank
that are
you.
considering using me. I mean, you're hope, right? You're an inspiration for them. And so, guys, if you
Yeah.
watch this, you just got a roadmap from a gal that went from 2 sales to 26. She literally tripled her business in 30
Yeah.
days time using the Scale and Social Media
Literally,
system
yeah.
and her phone, by teaching, educating. And what's crazy now is customers kind of respect you, right? They're like not nickel and diming you because they're coming off of your social media. Do you want to speak to that real fast before we end?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, my client, my dream client is somebody who's not going to leave me for $20 a month. You know,
Yep.
I get it. Rates are super expensive. I'm obviously paying for them too. I pay
Sure.
through the roof for my car insurance, you know, with the truck and the car. But that's my dream client, obviously. I don't want, you know, retention is huge. And, you know, in the 18 years of insurance that I've been doing, I've lost one client.
Yeah.
And it wasn't due to my own doing. It was because, you know, my client was Schmidt deodorant and Jergens bought them out. And so obviously they had to go with Jergens plan. That is the only client I have ever lost. So, you know, obviously retention is super important to me, and I do cater to my clients. And yeah, I mean, that's really it. You know, it's retention, and it's that client that's not going to leave you for $20, and you're educating them and being able to provide them with a full service package. You know, I want my clients to be like, hey, Eloisa, you know, I need my AC done, or I need my roof done, or whatever it is. I need my landscaping. And I can say, you know what, you can call XYZ and trust that they're going to take care of you. And I've had a lot of people telling me, like, you, and excuse my language, they're like, you, and I quote, you know your shit. And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing this for, like, I'll never consider myself an expert, because at that point you stop learning.
Yeah.
And this industry is always forever changing. And so, but I like to think that I know what I'm doing after 18 years, you know?
Love that.
But I love it. I love
That's
educating
awesome.
people and building those relationships. And, you know, I've built so many relationships with so many people. And a lot of these people like you, I talk to on a daily basis now.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's great. I
That's
love
cool.
it.
Well, let's finish with this. So, what advice would you have for somebody that's considering joining the Scale and Social Media program and my coaching? Any tips, any advice to them they're on the fence, they're not sure, is this real? Should I get into it? You know, it's an investment. What are your thoughts to them?
Just do it. It is like the best investment, because I mean, I went literally like, and I sent you the screenshots of them. So it's, you know, it's legit. Like, I went from being on the bottom of the totem pole to being number one in a month. And I wasn't expecting to hear that at all. I thought I was going to be on the bottom of the totem pole again. Just do it. Like Bobby, you know, like Miss Bobby Potts, and we met up, and she was like, you know, I have gotten so much from Nick, from his program, and it's just indescribable. And she's like, you should do it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. And I think I, you know, did it like shortly after that. And oh my gosh, what a difference between, you know, what's out there and what's private. There's such a difference, and it's just, it's incredible. Just do it.
Awesome. Well, Eloisa, we're so proud of you. You enjoy the crumble cookies. You go celebrate tonight. You're killing it. You're an inspiration. And thank you for being on, guys. That's Eloisa, your insurance boss, my insurance boss, and we'll see you guys.